Okay, it is finished as far as the wiring and whatnot. I do have one final thing I do want to do. Like I said, I will be getting a 10K pot right there. It's a blend pot so that I can blend chorus with tremolo, so I can take some of the distortion out of there. But when I was working with that theremin stuff or the noise generator, it was kind of faint, so it needed the push. So that was kind of an added feature. So I may just keep it like it is. I don't know. Anyway, some decisions to be made. Again, there's your 5-volt regulator. I tied everything into the daughter board today, and you don't see any loose connections. Everything is going into this thing called the daughter board. Anyway, that's what I'm calling it. And here you have the 3 pots right there, whatever they are. I know that's the time. And that goes to this delay circuit right here. And then you got the chorus and the vibrato section. I can A-B switch, as I've said before, and have only delay, or I could have delay chorus, delay vibrato. And this is that switch that gives me either the vibrato or the chorus. There we go. So that's the speed. That's vibrato. Put it back on the chorus. It'll get some distortion now. Like I said, delay time. See if I can add some repeats to it. So, pretty cool machine. I like it. Okay, little update for today. I worked on this theremin part of the circuit, and I worked on it last night as well. So, been spending some hours listening to tailoring it, to get it the exact sounds I was looking for. There was some that were pretty surprising. I was like, okay, I can't do that. And I know how to make those sounds now if I want those sounds. But I went with something that was like a 3-pitch musical ensemble. So you got a low pitch, you got a high pitch, and you can fine tune those. So I can build any chord I want and then play the theremin on top of that. So there's the theremin. That's an optical resistor, what we call a light dependent resistor, LDR. And I went with, I think, a 220 capacitors, the green one, and then a 560 is the other one, I think. Anyway, that's a CD40106 hex trigger. And I read up on it and looked at some videos on how to create it. And just got through recording a little snippet. I think I got this where it will, it records. So I may do that for the little background track on it, for my video doings and all that. But anyway, let's turn the thing on. And it's kind of hard to do this with my fingers holding this thing the way it needs to be. But if I turn it on, I got to turn this on. Just a quick demonstration. And hopefully it works. Oh, it takes time for this thing to fade in. Wasn't sure that was the recording I just did or what I had. So I could put my hand over the theremin. And if I had a flashlight, I could change that to a higher pitch. So let's look at the new features here real quick. So I got this hooked up to my mixer. And I'll just bring in one pitch at a time so you can see that. So there's the low, and there's the high. So if you don't want to use a theremin, maybe to a different pitch there. There we go. Bring in the theremin now. So got it running through my hefty mixer there, using 3 channels, and I built that mixer. Built the theremin portion of this, and here I got some blank space. I'm going to try to build a mixer, I think is what I'm going to do there. I mean, I could just go ahead and put it all in that, but to put it all in the box, it'd be pretty cool to have that as one circuit and then try to salvage all the other stuff that I got in that box already. So it's going to be a voyage. And then all we know about all that, that's 2 circuits. And we've listened to that already. So can't wait for it all to be put together. What we have here is the theremin section. And what I'm using for that is a hex trigger CD40106. So that's an IC chip, and it's a hex trigger. So what I wanted to say there is on pins 1, 3, your odd numbers, basically, you get the capacitors. So the capacitors go from, say, pin 1 to ground, is how that works. So I wanted to make and document what kind of capacitors that I have used for my own notes. And so the first circuit, we'll say, got a 220 nanofarad. The second circuit got a 1 microfarad. The third circuit got a 560 nanofarad. And the fourth, which I put in today, has a 47 microfarad capacitor. Now, between pins 1 and 2, 1 is the in, 2 is the out. So it's easy to keep up with. So you got a set, like an in and out. Next pins are in and out, and so forth. So pretty cool on that. So I used pin 1 to pin 2 100K resistor. I had on my next circuit a 100K resistor. On my third circuit, which is the theremin part of it, the optical eye that we can see right there, which I'm going to demonstrate here in the next video, that has a 100K resistor. On the fourth one, which I experimented today, that was what I was going for, I get a low frequency oscillator, LFO, and it can be used among the blending of the sounds. So I went with that because that gives me kind of like the heartbeat kind of sounds, which you'll hear in a minute. Very Floyd-like, we'll say. My main goal today just never did happen. I was looking for some sort of tunable wind noises. And I think that has to be just done with some oscillation from, say, the effects. And there's all the effects. That is delay and modulation. So I'm just going to call that the effects section. And all that is going to be going into a mixer that I got to build. That's why I got the space right there. And that's going to be a mono mixer where I can have 4 voices going into one output, basically, that's going to feed to the effects section. And that's how that would go into some sort of amplifier or a way to record or whatever. I can already do that now, but I don't have the effects the way I want them at this point. So, whole point is right now I've got all the voices going separately into my DIY mixer I made a while back. And that's channels 1, 2, 3, and 4 there. And we're going to demo this thing. This is the theremin only with the 3 other tunable voices. So it's a 4-voice polyphonic music generator. Go figure.